This is a Content Clam News Update where we bring you the latest video game news in a minute or less. I'm Cameron Phillips.
And I'm Carlin Stafford. There was a lot of news in the video game world. Let's jump right in. Listen up, console gamers. It seems Microsoft's Project Scorpio may have some serious power under the hood. In an interview with USA Today, Microsoft Studios publishing manager Shannon Loftus made a pretty big promise, saying, quote, "Any games we're making in the Scorpio timeframe, we're making sure they can natively render at 4K. I'm holding you to it, Microsoft. I can't take these games not being at 4K anymore. It's killing my eyesight." Lately, there's been lots of talk of 4K gaming, especially since the reveal of the PS4 Pro. The Pro doesn't natively play games in 4K, but it can upscale based on your TV's resolutions. The only issue with the claim is that Microsoft hasn't revealed all the specs of the Scorpio, meaning we kinda have to take them at their word without any real evidence. Also, current 4K gaming is expensive, like several $100s expensive. So we'll have to see in the near future how Microsoft plans to balance it all out. You can expect Scorpio to be released sometime in 2017. Well, Project Scorpio is sounding like it's going to try and become the best console, at least power-wise, on the market.
Power-wise, yes. However, the issue that they had last time when they first announced the Xbox is they said all these things that it could do, and they left out all the things it was supposed to do or that it should do, and nobody really knew what it was going to do. So hopefully they don't have that same issue where they're saying it's going to do all this stuff, but really it still has all the asterisks.
Maybe, but I'm thinking it's probably just going to be an updated one, just more powerful and have that 4K resolution. I mean, don't mess with a good thing, because the one, after all of the problems that they did fix, is a pretty good console. It just needed an upgrade and a facelift, and I think that's what the Scorpio is going to be. But that being said, we don't have any specs at the moment. We're not even sure what graphic card it's going to be using, what graphic-wise it's going to do.
I mean, ultimately, I think we kind of have a somewhat decent idea, just in comparison to, like, you have the PS4 Pro's already out, or is coming out in a couple of months here, and there's not a whole lot graphics-wise that they're going to be able to put into a console.
Yeah.
A console is a lot smaller than a full-size PC, so you can't really have the same powerful, like, Polaris AMD graphics card in a console, but
yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe the Scorpio is going to be a lot bigger and might have that capability, but as of right now, I think, like you said, it'll probably still be roughly the same size.
I honestly don't see it being any bigger than the current Xbox One. Not
the S,
but the one before. Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, like I said, we'll get to see once it rolls out next year, so we got a while.
Speaking of the Xbox One, there is one game that's coming out very, very soon, and I'm actually really excited to see it.
Of course you are.
We've got a story about it, so let's check it out. Gears fans rejoice. Gears of War 4 has gone gold. If some of you are unfamiliar with this term, it means that the game is done and they're starting to make the game discs. The announcement came on Monday that the game had been completed, which means that from this point forward, the game will not be delayed any further and will meet the release date of October 11th. Gears of War 4 is an Xbox Play Anywhere title, which means you only have to buy it once and you can choose to play on console or PC. In addition, online modes will support cross-platform play. Now, if you pre-order the game digitally, the Xbox One will have preloading available, maybe even a few days before launch, since the Ultimate Edition allows players to get started on October 7th. On PC, you'll need a massive 80 gigabytes of free space, but the Xbox version may be smaller. There are a few system requirements you may want to look at if you're on PC, but you shouldn't have too many problems if you've got a mid-range computer from the past couple of years. Well, I personally actually played Gears with the Ultimate Edition just a couple of months ago. I played all 4 of them actually, including Judgment Day, and I love that series. So I'm really excited to see what Gears 4 has in store for us.
I never played it. I've heard good things, and it's kind of one of those. Thank you. I will go home and play that.
Go home and play it. Like, seriously, put like an hour aside, and you'll end up like next week having finished the entire series.
And maybe I'll see. I mean, it is one of those definitive Xbox titles.
Right. It's right there with Halo in that, it's one of those titles that's iconic. It's
exclusive.
Just for Xbox.
Yeah.
Or I guess now with Gears 4, also PC. But yeah, you got to give it a shot, dude.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. But if I don't, I think Gears 4 would be a good jumping off point for those who
there's not
maybe
a whole
didn't.
lot of like Marcus and the rest of the team in it, so I think it could be a good start.
Yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of games that we're excited for, this next one is near and dear to my heart. Take a look and just get ready for lots of nostalgia. Digimon fans are finally headed home, and let me tell you, the digital world never looked so good. Bandai Namco has revealed its latest game in the Digital Monster franchise. It's called Digimon World Next Order, and it will be getting a Western release. I can barely contain my excitement. In fact, I can't.
I'm so happy!
According to the game's official page, there are over 200 different Digimon to interact with while you play. And lucky for us, they gave us a brief summary of what we can expect from the story. Players are sucked into the digital world to discover it is under siege by Machinedramon. Rescued by 2 Digimon from impending doom, players must forge forward with their Digimon partners and journey through the digital world to discover the origins of the Machinedramon Scourge and find a way back to the real world. You can grab your copy exclusively for PlayStation early 2017. I mean, it's Digimon. So, yes, and more yes, and a couple more yes, because the 90s kid inside me is screaming right now.
I was never a huge fan of Digimon. Like I liked it. I had fun watching it or whatever, but I wasn't like a fanboy level like it seems like you were.
I mean, I can't name all of them like I can name all the Pokemon, mainly because there's way too many Digimon. There's more than there are Pokemon.
He can't name all the Digimon, but he can name all 721
now, I think.
Pokemon.
But I haven't looked at the new Pokedex yet. But there are more Digimon than there are Pokemon, so it's a little bit harder to memorize all those. However,
there's more than 700 Digimon.
Yeah. Yeah, there are.
Fun fact of the day.
Fun fact of the day.
Use that in class, kids.
Yeah. But
the teacher will give you straight A's.
If you can recite them all, I'll give you straight A's. But this might be the reason that I get a PlayStation, for the sole purpose of it is only for PlayStation. So, I might be spending $450 just for this game.
First time you'll have ever spent hundreds of dollars on a game.
On a game, because I'd need the system to, play it.
All right, speaking of playing games, yeah, because that totally works for like everything.
I was gonna say everything.
We've got another story coming up. This one is anticipated. I don't know necessarily how highly anticipated, but anyway, here we go. One of the biggest selling points to the HTC Vive is how immersive it is. This is not only due to the headset itself, but also the controllers, which are included in that $800 price point. This has been a problem for Oculus, which has not released their touch controllers as of yet, which means that you're basically just sitting in a chair watching the world around you do things. Well, it seems we finally have some information on Oculus's touch controllers. Here's the inside scoop. They're expensive. And I'm not just talking $60 for an Xbox controller expensive. I'm talking about spending another $250 for the full experience expensive. What the shit? They do come with an extra camera, which is supposed to make you feel better. But in the end, the Rift and Touch will still come out costing less than the HTC Vive. So far, no exact release date has been announced, but it should be here by the end of the year. Yep, totally buying VR eventually, but I don't know if I'm ready to buy VR for $250 for just controllers.
Yeah, I cry a little bit if I have to replace an Xbox controller for $60. I don't know if $250 is in mind.
Yeah, I mean VR's really, really cool right now. It's one of those things. It's kind of a gimmick sometimes, but I mean you got the Vive on one hand.
Yeah.
It's $800, which you already have to have like a high-end PC to run anyway.
Oh.
So now you're spending like $2,400 on a PC and the Vive. But on the other hand, the Oculus is cheaper, doesn't have controllers, and at this point, it's still going to end up being cheaper than the Vive.
Yeah, but isn't the Vive more immersive than the Oculus?
The Vive's a little bit more immersive, but that's just because of the controllers. You've got these games. don't remember all the names of these games. I haven't played them myself, but like there's one where like you have to like reach back so that you can reload when you're shooting, or you know, one where like you reach back like that so you can do archery.
Makes sense for something.
Whereas when you play on the Oculus, you've got stuff like Grand Theft Auto 5. That's cool, but I still have a controller. I'm still sitting down, and all the Oculus is doing
is providing visually an immersive world.
And I get to do this. But that's it. In order to move, I still have to use the controller.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that's also good about the Vive is when I spin, I'm actually going to spin in the game. And I don't necessarily know that that's not the case with Oculus, because again, I haven't tried it myself, but you still have that kind of same problem.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, unless VR is like a super becomes something I can just like jump in and like, boom, I'm in it, then I'm not as stoked about it as I probably could be.
Yeah, I think kind of that mid-range VR is something that PlayStation is actually trying to do, so that people who don't have a super high-end PC, they don't spend, you know, hundreds of dollars on it.
Yeah.
They still have something to kind of get hyped about.
Which will be good when I, you know, buy my PlayStation for Digimon. I can have that as well. So, all right. See, right on. That's all that
Speaking of
matters.
hardware,
yes, Nintendo. They may eventually show us what their new hardware is, but in the meantime, lots of people say it's great. Check it out. The Ninendo NX is fantastic. Or at least that's what we're told. According to Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillermo, the new console is, quote, a really new approach. It's really Nintendo coming with something new again. We love it. Man, talk about praise for a system that hasn't even been revealed yet. According to rumors, super persistent rumors mind you, the NX is said to be a hybrid console, giving gamers the option for both handheld play and a TV dock for the traditional console option. Those rumors were apparently confirmed by recent comments from the Pokemon company. The company said the new device is trying to change the idea of what it means to be a home console or a handheld. Pokemon went on to say that they will make games for the new device. Sinnoh confirmed! Despite the comments, Nintendo has yet to confirm or deny the claims. Right now, the NX is scheduled to be released in March 2017, but no official reveal date has been announced. However, Ubisoft's Just Dance 2017 is one of the first 5 games confirmed for the console. Maybe we will get to see it before the end of the year. Maybe. I honestly feel like Nintendo's gonna just be like, here it is.
right? Like they don't even like put an announcement out or anything. They're just like Legend of Zelda, boom, out March 27th, 2017. That's gonna be the first game that they release for it. Put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. I just think they're kind of just gonna be like, you know what? They've waited long enough. Let's just give it to them. Let's not have an official release or a press conference or anything. Let's just throw it on shelves and see what happens.
Or the first game will come out like March 27th and the console comes out March 20th with no announcement. Just GameStops are just like, oh, hey, we have this thing.
We got this thing in stock. Here, you want it? Yeah. I feel like that's probably what's going to happen because, I mean, they've literally been so tight-lipped about it. No one knows. Like, there's all these rumors of, oh, it's a handheld, oh, it's a console, oh, it's a hybrid.
Yeah.
But there's no not even Nintendo has said, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the best we've got is the Pokemon company saying, yeah.
I think one of the things that worries me about it, though, is we haven't seen anything saying that it's even up to par with your first iterations of the PS4 and the Xbox One.
They did say, though, that it won't be as powerful as the PS4 Slim and the Xbox One S.
Right. But the reason that worries me is because you kind of get it into a niche console area. You know, you had the Wii and the Wii U were like this too, where you have all these games that are really good on that console, but if they're developed for, you know, let's say the Xbox and then ported to the Wii, or to the NX, excuse me, then what if that doesn't work?
I mean, to be fair, Nintendo hasn't had, honestly, good cross-console games like that since the GameCube. And even then, they didn't even have games that were cross-console for the GameCube. Nintendo is just more like what you said, a niche type of company. However, they do dominate that handheld. Like,
they do.
I'm excited for it for that sole purpose.
You couldn't see Microsoft or Sony building a handheld that's going to compete with even the 3DS the way it is, let alone if NX was just a full-fledged handheld.
Yeah, which would be cool because they might have it be at least on par with Wii U solely handheld, which would be ideal. However, it would...
That Wii U handheld controller is huge, though.
Exactly. Cramming it into a handheld device.
Try taking that with you to school on the bus.
Yeah, you're not. You're not. You will get that taken away fast.
Very fast.
Not by teachers, by other kids who want to play it. But... but you will get it taken away pretty quickly.
Yeah. And speaking of wanting to play it, there's a game that I really want to play coming out very, very soon. I'm really excited for it. Let's jump into that story right now. I'm just going to go ahead and put this out there. I liked Watch Dogs 2. It had its problems, but it was a good game. So I'm really excited for Watch Dogs 2, which already looks way better. Several video game news outlets have had a chance to play the game and see how it's improved. The driving issues have been addressed, with physics and responsiveness getting a huge overhaul, something that's really needed with the narrow streets of San Francisco. Setting traps is as easy as ever, and there are way more options. And the story. It's nice to see the protagonists interact with people, want to do something for the betterment of man, rather than going on some revenge quest like we saw with Aiden Pierce in Watch Dogs 1. You can see the story trailer for Watch Dogs 2 on YouTube. The game is set to launch November 15th for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. I am really excited for this game.
Yes, you are.
I think that Watch Dogs 1 wasn't that bad of a game, but people gave it a really bad rap.
Me included, because I didn't think it was very good.
I mean, it had its problems. The story was
bland.
I mean, it was a revenge plot.
It was
and
bland.
That's it. And whenever they announced it, they said, here's all the things that we want to do with it.
Like,
and then they delivered like 40%.
Yeah.
But they don't really have that problem with this one.
No, because they already have something they can build on. They just got to make it better. Which, let me defend myself here for not liking Watch Dogs 1. It looks like they fixed the majority of the issues.
Yeah,
they have a better protagonist. They have a better story already from what I've seen.
The mechanics are better too. The driving, the hacking, and so I think that it's going to be a much better game. But the same problem existed with Assassin's Creed, another Ubisoft property. The first one, it was a good story, but it was just super repetitive, not very great gameplay mechanics. The combat was difficult, and
now it's turned into one of the greatest franchises in video game history.
Well, it did. It's kind of
plateaued. That's for sure.
Yeah. There's some opinions about that to be had, but
yeah.
I mean, again, it's kind of that same thing of, the first one, it's like, okay, so here's kind of the core. The second one is really what this game actually is.
And that's all well and good. That's kind of what I feel like they needed to do, because I didn't necessarily like Watch Dogs. I thought it was kind of, honestly, I couldn't get around the city because the driving was so bad. And nothing annoys me about an open world game that has driving in it than terrible driving.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if I can't move from point A to point B in a timely fashion to beat the little timer that you've given me, because I hate those missions, then there's a problem with your game.
Please, game developers who are probably watching this,
right?
Please just take out all of your beat the timer missions. They're awful.
Nobody
likes them.
We hate them.
Nobody likes them.
They're terrible. Because we're trying to beat dinner. We don't need to beat your timer. All right.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, I guess that wraps that up then.
I mean, hey, it's the truth. We're racing against the clock on cooking and playing at the same time. We do it all the time. All right, so that's the end of this video. Let us know how you like the new format in the comments below. And, of course, our videos, because we love to hear your feedback. Also, if you have anything newsworthy, we want to know about it. So shoot us a line.
Yeah, and don't forget to like this video, check out our other videos, and subscribe to Content Clam for all the latest video game news.
That's right. We'll see you guys next week.